Yeah, I need you to be more exciting. Kind of like this division we're about to talk about. Usually we
I'm not
start off
excited
with the
about.
ones. I mean, we're not. We're
That's
not.
why we're doing them
Okay.
first. That's why we're
I
doing them
think
I
first, so
don't
we
I
know,
have
think
no
dude.
we're doing
guest.
it. No,
That's
no, we're not doing that. There are some other ones that we definitely are not excited about. This one, I think there's some exciting things. I mean, the AFC North has just had a ton of movement today alone, not including what they've done over the last couple of months, uh, mainly coming out of Pittsburgh. They've traded away Minka Fitzpatrick and a seventh round pick. They got back, or a fifth round pick. They got back a
so.
seventh and got Jonnu Smith. They got Jalen Ramsey, and they've also brought in Aaron Rodgers to be at the helm.
I
We don't need to get into their breakdown yet, but there's been some movement there. You got Cincinnati; they have yet to sign their first round pick. Trey Hendrickson is still sitting out. Cleveland, who really cares about them? Baltimore, they cut Justin Tucker, who's been suspended for 10 games. Like there's some exciting things to look forward to out of the AFC North.
Yeah.
so exciting. Well, I mean, the Ravens are still the Ravens. I mean, I assume they're gonna play good football like they did last year. Um, they're probably gonna fuck it up in the playoffs at some point because it's just the Ravens. Except unless it's that one year that Ed Reed and fucking Ray Lewis and all the things.
Kyle Hamilton is not Ed Reed.
No, he's not.
That's fair. They did.
No, he's
Who
not.
else did they just bring?
That's a
They
pretty
just
fair
brought in
assumption
Jair
too. I
Alexander.
don't even think that's really like a
They
hot
did
take.
just bring in Jair Alexander though. Like there's some exciting.
Which
There's a little bit of exciting things going
Aging,
on.
aging, but either way,
You
yes.
know,
can't play
so is
football.
Jalen.
He
Who
can
can't play
play
football?
for he can play for like 4 or 5 games, but he can't play football. He's played a minuscule amount of games the past 3 seasons.
He gets suspended by the team a lot too. Don't forget that. You know,
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
he's an
all
attitude
injury.
guy.
It's
Add
mostly
some
it's
attitude to
mostly
that
injury.
locker room. That might do it though. You need some crazy motherfuckers. He might be the crazy motherfucker
When
they
he's
need.
on the field, yes, they will greatly improve that defense, but it won't be long lived, and you won't see Jair Alexander play in the playoffs.
Well no, but the worst defense is gonna go to the Bengals though, because they have a shit defense.
Hundred
And
percent.
it's gonna continue to be shit. Because
And a shit offensive line.
yeah, just a shit team all around.
I mean, no. The trio of Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow is a pretty fearsome trio. But if you don't
Sure.
have an offensive line and you don't have a defense that can stop people from scoring points, it don't matter. You're about to not
Fair.
have somebody that can get sacks for you. So
Yeah, you're about to lose. Did they sign who's the did they sign Hendrickson or Trey
No,
Hendricks?
no,
no,
he's
They still haven't
he's
signed him
still
either,
yeah,
he's
or
that's
the
what I'm
he's
first
on
round
saying.
pick.
holdout.
The
That is
Bengals
what
Shamar
don't
I just
deserve
Stewart
to
said.
is
win.
also
That's what I
yeah,
just said.
no,
Yeah.
it's bad. It's
Well,
bad
I
news
thought I thought you were
Bengals.
meaning one of the other ones, Bo. I didn't think you
Yeah,
meant both of them. But
yeah, no,
yeah,
both of
both of
them.
them.
Who's the other one?
Their first round pick.
Oh, I mean, it's a rookie. I mean, you're not going to get the same production out of the rookie that you got out of Trey Hendrickson 2 years
No,
ago.
you're not. But I think D line is definitely one of those positions where rookies tend to have really good standout years at just because, at the end of the day, playing D end or playing DT, I mean, you're playing within the scheme, but it's a lot of see ball, get ball. If you're naturally gifted and like a legit first round pick, like you should probably have like a decent first year. I would
Don't
think at
forget
D line. I think D
they
line
also
is like
lost
there's
Jermaine
there's a
Pratt.
better
But just
opportunity for
picture
that at D line.
adding that to Trey Hendrickson though. Like it
Yeah.
wouldn't be just instead of you're about to lose Trey Hendrickson and only have that rookie right now. Like it doesn't.
Right
It's
now
Well,
you
we
have
can we
none.
can
If
we
you
can
play
jump
tomorrow,
into
you have none of them.
Cincinnati because Tommy, you should know this more than the rest. Not only have they yet to sign Shamar Stewart, their first round draft pick, and they have yet to re-sign or extend Trey Hendrickson. They also got rid of Pratt, who's now where in Vegas, your
Hmm.
favorite team.
Yep.
Your team is probably better than Cincinnati at the moment
I don't know.
without a
We've made
quarterback.
it. We've made a lot of moves, but we're not talking about the West. So
Not yet.
we
We'll
can
get
move
there.
on. We can move on.
We'll
But
get
but
there.
I do think, however, though, just like the way the Bengals are ran from the top down, they don't deserve to win. They don't deserve to win. And if you are a Bengals fan, I would demand for everyone to be fired. Like this is ridiculous.
The formula is going to make for some exciting football. Like Joe Burrow's going to make some cool touchdown passes. Jamar Chase is going to run a lot, but they're not going to win a lot of games. They won't win in the playoffs with what they have.
They have the explosivity of like possibly putting up like a 50-point game on like a Thursday night against a lesser opponent. Maybe it's even a shootout because their defense is going to fucking suck at this point. So we could get like a Rams Chiefs type Thursday night, Monday night game out of them this year, but that's all I really see from the Bengals at this point.
I'll ask this. I mean, Tybo, you're not wrong. Joe Burrow does go out there and like he slings the rock a little bit. He has some exciting touchdowns, but the best ability for a player is availability, and that guy is never on the field. Is he going to be available for the full season?
Probably. He plays through small stuff. I mean, he's like a.
I mean, barring like a massive
guy.
Injury.
I mean, he's only played a full season once in his career, twice.
Is he not just coming off of a full season?
Well, he didn't. His first season, he played 5 games or 6.
He's never played less than 10 games in his career. He's played. Okay, he did have a full season this year.
I was gonna do. I feel like we've talked about this. He is
damn.
Played,
I'll fine you for that. I will. Yeah.
That's a fine.
He's got multiple seasons where he hasn't played a full season.
That's true.
What do you mean?
But
so does half of the NFL, bro. Like
when he plays a full season, he comes back and he doesn't play a full season.
Jair Alexander's record is worse. Track record with injuries.
He's also not an impactful player like a quarterback.
He's pretty impactful on the defense.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown an interception in the Super Bowl, but he's an impactful player. Yeah. Yeah.
The DB that caught the interception is probably an impactful player as well.
Very. Well, Aaron, you forget Aaron Donald was on his ass.
Yeah, also an impactful player.
Very impactful.
Probably the most impactful defensive player.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a good statement. Yeah. Sorry, it was there. Had to take it.
Ty Bob, you have the question written down, or not question. It looks more like a statement.
It is a statement.
Andy Dalton is better than Joe Burrow.
Yeah. I do like that. We were talking about this at work, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You take the first 5 seasons. I think I'm taking Andy Dalton.
You think?
First 5 seasons. I think I'm taking Andy Dalton, man. Like he went 5 for 5 in the playoffs. He played every single game. He didn't have near the weapons that Joe Burrow has. Not anywhere close.
What do you mean he went 5 for 5 in the playoffs?
For the playoff, he went 5 years, 5 playoff trips.
What's his record in the playoffs?
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Listen, don't worry about that. He still took you 5 times. What's Joe Burrow done? He took you. Took you once.
I think there might be an argument. Andy Dalton with the 2 receivers that Joe Burrow has right now, but like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have like an insane connection. They played together before, and
it's cool. Like they suck each other's dicks. That's whatever. Yeah, but like the thing is, though,
they're also better receivers than what Andy Dalton was working with, and I think Jamar Chase is better than AJ Green. So,
that's cool, but dude, the Red Rocket, bro, the Red Rifle.
I thought it was the Red Rifle.
It's whatever you want.
You can say whatever, dude. You just gotta have Red the name.
Carrot Top, motherfucker. It doesn't matter, dude. Whatever you want, bro. But no, he was legit, and I think. I just think if you take away the Super Bowl run that they went on, he's either lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs, or he hasn't finished a season.
No, he finished this full last season. They didn't even make the playoffs. What are we talking about?
Or they missed the playoffs.
Exactly.
I mean, he doesn't make the playoffs. I mean,
that's pretty.
I would say, you made the Super Bowl. Leave that in there, and you made the AFC championship.
I'd say that's better than going 5 years straight and not having a win to show for it.
I don't think it is when you pay your receiver the most money a receiver has ever made, which
I'm
is
not.
quarterback money.
Well, we're
And you
talking
pay your
about Andy
quarterback that
Dalton
much money.
versus Joe Burrow here. We're not talking about the entire organization right now. But like, I
Yeah,
will agree that they're in a shitty situation now because of what they
I'd throw this out there.
constructed.
You give Andy Dalton, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon against the competition that he had to go against, and Ed Reed, in James Harrison, and Ray
I think
Lewis.
you have
You give him
an
all of that,
argument there, but I don't think that
and
makes Andy
he's
Dalton
winning a
better.
Super Bowl.
I don't.
And I think Andy Dalton,
Wow.
5 for 5 against the competition defensively that he had to go against. Give me Andy Dalton. Taking him.
No.
I can see where Tyler's coming from a statistical standpoint, but yeah, I just think
you have an interesting argument. Yeah. You know, I do think that Andy Dalton, he does not win a Super Bowl with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Mixon.
The only way Andy Dalton would ever win a Super Bowl is if he pulled like a Nick Foles and came in backup to help his team win a Super Bowl. That's the only like version of Andy Dalton's life where he wins a Super Bowl. That's the only version of it.
I'm also
if you're a multiverse theory person.
Reducing Andy Dalton to Nick Foles, I feel like is going to piss off a lot of Bengals fans. That's it.
Yeah,
but Nick Foles. I also don't think.
Nick Foles has a statue.
That's true. I'm also a proponent of I think Joe is overhyped. He does some cool things. Like he's good in front of the media. Good. He's good in front of the media. He's pretty good, but hasn't really
that doesn't the media
the playoffs
doesn't have anything to do with what I feel like.
I don't think here,
that makes him look cool.
Here's where I feel for Tyler. Hold up, man. Here's where I feel for Tyler is because, for a fan like me and my team, 5 straight years making the playoffs is a win. If you told me starting this year the Raiders would make the playoffs every single year, that would make me happy as a fan. That would make me happy.
Okay,
however, if you're the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers,
for one trip to the Super Bowl, not even talking about the AFC Championship game, would you give 5 years straight?
I've seen the Dodgers lose in the World Series, bro. I don't want to see my team lose in the fucking championship. If we go, we gotta win. I can't deal with that shit, dude. I can't deal with it. It kills me.
Okay.
So I'd way rather just go to the playoffs and be like, yeah, we're a playoff team. Go fuck yourself. We're not the worst. Than going once and being like, oh, remember that one time we almost won 10 years down the road? Fuck that shit. That's so lame.
I like telling a good story about it. You remember that one time we almost won?
Yeah, we was both at that bond. We got all fucked up.
Remember that one time we had hope?
And then when I drove home drunk and got that DUI, yeah, no, I don't want to be that guy. So I'd rather just take the 5 playoff trips in 5 years. I'll take that.
Okay.
Fuck it.
I'd say this about Joe Burrow too.
That's fine. Sure.
A little overrated.
Hey, if I had asked you that fucking 15 years ago, 20 years ago about the Chiefs, you would have taken that shit too. Don't ever forget where the fuck you're from. Pieces of shit.
You're not wrong.
But I have experience going to the playoff and losing at enough at that point. I was still I'll take a trip to the Super Bowl, man. We got a chance. You remember that? You remember that one time we had hope?
I'd rather take a little bit of hope for a long period of time than just a boatload of it all at once for it to all just be drained.
Stretch it out.
You want your hope? You got it.
Yeah. No, just give me string me out like I'm on fucking drugs. Just string it out for 5 years. Just a little bit at a time. I'll take that.
Wee bit.
Oh man! But I'll say this about Joe. I think he's a little overrated, man. He's been surrounded by extreme talent. I'm not saying he's not good by any means. I think the reason why I put Andy Dalton right there is because I don't have Joe all the way up here where everyone else has him. When he's been surrounded by immense talent wherever.
Can I say that about Patrick Mahomes though too? Because every time you guys lose in the Super Bowl, it's oh, we don't have a good offensive line. Oh, we don't have a this. Oh, we didn't have a that.
He won with MVS as a number 1 receiver, so I'll go ahead and stop you there.
Someone's mad. He also had Tyreek Hill. Take it easy.
No, No, he won without Tyreek and MVS being number
Yeah,
one.
but he did also win. So like, go
He
fuck
did
yourself.
also win with Tyreek. Yes.
Well, like
Separate
what
rings.
Joe do before his senior year at LSU? He was a perpetual four-string quarterback at Ohio State. He plays a horrible year in his junior year. They win like 4 total games, maybe. And then he wins a national championship carried by Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jamar
What a like a
Chase,
shitty
the best,
Wikipedia clip
the
note version
best
of Joe Burrow's
def-
career did you just
the
give? You're such a
best
piece of shit.
defensive squad that the college football has ever seen. And then he goes to the NFL and he gets who? Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, like just perpetually covered
Bro.
by surrounded by
Yeah,
the
I mean, you
best
Some would say
sound
talent
that's like the
ever
greatest
get.
college football season in the history of college
Yeah,
football.
and guess
that's
what?
not
He was
true. It's
carried
not.
the
I'm
Not
just
entire
even
saying
way
close.
there.
some say that.
It's not even
I
close.
know there's people out there that full
And if you
heartedly
say
believe
that, guess
that
what?
their
He is
season is the
surrounded
best
by
season of college
Hall of
football.
Famers left and
That's
right, offense and
insane.
defense. He's
That's not
carried,
true.
hard carried, backpacked. Some
The
would say.
greatest team in ever is the 1899
Somebody's got to throw him
Swanee
the ball, dude.
Tigers.
Like, I mean,
You could have done it at that point. You could have done it at that point.
Oh, please. You got torn in half the first time some guy from Georgia hit you. Just